All right, good day, everyone. Today is Sunday, June 20th. I'm just checking that in. It is June 20th. My name is Enrique Barreto. I am the president here at VOYR. Happy Father's Day for those that are in the United States or in other parts of the world that celebrate Father's Day today. I know that I'm excited, me being a father as well as other members of the team. Now, before I get us started and I kick the call and I give it to Dave Stiles, our CEO, I want to also present in the screen we have Mara Rivera. She is one of our advisors here in VOYR. Her background is fairly unique when it comes to art. So as you can see, there is a thematics on art on what we're doing, not just only in art, but other things of what we have talked in VOYR. And as well, we also have on the screen, we have Tiago. Tiago is one of our first creators that is joining in our platform. And we're going to be talking about the why. Why is this important? How will we do it? And what is the call to action or the purpose of it? So a couple of housekeeping items before I give this call to Dave Stiles. Number one, feel free to ask any questions. We're streaming through any channels that you can imagine. We're streaming to Twitch. We're streaming to YouTube. If you're in YouTube watching this, ask questions. You can ask questions and we will be able to see them on the screen and be able to actually answer. Obviously, any question that is not appropriate, we're not going to be talking about it. That happens, so try to restrain myself from asking questions that are appropriate about the project or questions that you may have of the team. I will say with that, Dave Stiles, take it away. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing okay, man. Get a little in the weather this weekend, but bouncing back. And it's good to see everybody again. Yeah, I'll add my same welcome to everybody and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Really excited for this session today. I think it's great that we're having an AMA focused on art, and I look forward to the conversation with Tiago here today. But I want to give everybody a few updates about VOYR, just for what's happened since our last AMA on Wednesday. For one, we do have the official listing done with BetConnects. That will go live this week. I will give you the exact date probably on Monday, but we are integrated. The pairs are live. Just to tease everybody a little bit, we also will be in the near future be able to offer a VOYR branded ATM debit card that'll tie into your crypto account. So really excited about the partnership there with them, and glad to have that live. We are going to have a big announcement on Monday. I know everybody's been pushing me for kind of what's happening.
Not only you, man. Everybody's pinging me. They're like, what's the big announcement? What's the big announcement? That's why I put in on Telegram today. We will announce what we can announce, but we want to make sure that we announce it when we know it is announced.
That's right. I teased it on Discord, so I'll leave that as my little teaser if you're not in our Discord server to get into Discord. But we have a big announcement. We'll hit all social media channels tomorrow. It will definitely amplify the project, and we're excited about it. And it's just another great stepping stone in the milestone of progress. And I'll say the last thing that from an amplification perspective, we are still on track for our July launch of Memories, the NFT marketplace. It couldn't be a better timing because we obviously have Tiago with us today to talk about, why we are building a marketplace to really showcase and allow all the different types of creatives of the world to come and celebrate art and life together and be able to share that. And it'll be something that the community is definitely going to have a lot of a great experience with. And so from that perspective, we're glad to have that. I will say that anybody who is watching us on the live streams, thanks for tuning in. Again, if you have questions, we do have the ability to take those questions. They will come in live to our server. We will ask you that you ask respectful questions. If you have a question, we'll take those as they're addressed, and then we'll address those and push those out to the audience. This is being recorded as well, so if you're catching this on the restream, sorry you weren't able to ask your question live, but you can always ping us directly, and we'll be happy to do that. Again, and if you are on social media, please follow us on Twitter at VOYRME or any of our other social media channels. We're pretty much at VOYRME on every single one of them. And if you want to get in the Discord server, come on in. There's a link there. You can get into the Discord, and we'll be happy to have you. And so, I would be remiss to say that, we'd love to give a lot of updates. We'll take questions here towards the end, but I really want to give the focus and the time to Tiago. And again, thank you for coming. And so I'll turn it back over to Enrique and allow a great conversation to take place here with our special guest.
Absolutely, absolutely, David. Before I introduce Tiago, that that Visa card looks super sexy. Like I want one. Like I think I told you when so team super important, right? What they've just mentioned as we're gonna get into an exchange. What that means is that as you know, to purchase VOYR today, you're doing different things. You go to Pancake Swap, or before that, you gotta get BNB, all that kind of stuff, right? What that means is that you'll be able to go to this exchange and be able to from fiat, whether it's euro or whether it's US dollars, you'll be able to buy VOYR directly. So what that means is it removes the complexity, and we all know that as users, right, we want to make sure that we make the experience easy, not only for the fans and the creators of VOYR, but also for the one that is investing. So that's super, super cool. And the fact that there is a credit card associated with that means that in a future, you can actually take funds out of VOYR and be able to use them as if it was fiat. So that is the goal. That is the mission. So that's
coming later this summer.
It's going to facilitate for every fan and creator across the world to be able to get into our platform and follow the vision that we have, which is the social exchange vision, connecting the creators and the fans. So super excited for that. Now,
absolutely,
I will introduce Tiago as an individual that really doesn't need any introduction. For those that follow finance, he's been in a multitude of projects, not only in my hometown, my island of Puerto Rico, but throughout the United States and around the world. He's a scholar of this mastery of art. He's been doing it for many, many, many years. And the conversation here is going to be simple. It's going to be a conversation about perpetuity. It's going to be a conversation about disrupting the status quo and be able to, show why is this artist choosing to be in VOYR with us. So with that said, Tiago, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Enrique. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Mara, David, happy Father's Day. I've seen already a few people, friends of mine, Jaime Jordan Frau, who's on, Javier Hernandez, who's got a beautiful project in Sacred Heart University here in San Juan. He's the director of the, entrepreneur in the arts side of things. So this is very important people that are, hooking up right now with us. So that makes me really happy. And to answer your question, I'm really happy to be here with you guys.
That is awesome. So, when Mara Rivera, which is here in our call, joined us as one of the advisors of our organization, one of the tasks that she brought in was, what are creators that are making an impact in the world, right? As you can imagine, there's creators of anything. There's creators of music, there's creators of art, there's creators of photography. I mean, you name it, right? And your name came about. We started talking. I started talking with Mara and whatnot, and we were able to meet each other, talked about the vision. But walk me through what, how do you disrupt the status quo? When you now that you know about VOYR, and now you know about everything, what did you saw that in that first meeting that we had, you were like, you know what, this is a cool project that I want to be part of.
Well, it's an amazing project, actually. Now that question has many vertientes, many answers, right? So I'm just going to narrow it down to art as well as life. It's either a formula or a revolution. And people who know my work, for the ones who don't know my work, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist, which means I don't just do painting or sculpture. I use the medium that I need to say what I need to say when I need to say it. So that means that I use many different mediums. And in many senses, this is another platform. This platform is another medium to be able to take my work to the next level, right? That's the way at least I'm seeing it. And when we started talking, and in that conversation, we thought about so many possibilities. It just opened up, Obviously, there's fear, just like any other. One of the sad things that happen to artists is that at a young stage in their career, they get a name going, and then they start repeating themselves, and it becomes a formula, like I said before, And then in their later stages, they're just a bad interpretation of what they were before, you know? And I don't allow myself to indulge in that type of mentality. So I think this is it. I mean, I think this is the future. A lot of things can be said in a good manner about it. A lot of things have been being questioned about in the other side. You know what? At the end of the day, we're partaking here because we want to participate in the project of what this is going to be turning into. We don't want to be bystanders looking at something. We want to be playing in the game, you know. So here we are, and that conversation was amazing, Enrique. And it was just like if I knew you many years ago.
That's
And
true.
obviously, I went home, I did my research, which I suggest everybody to do all the research that you can, and all you're gonna see is people who are very, very transparent in what they're doing, and they're building something that's real. Okay, so I hope that answered a little bit of that question because there's many ways to disrupt.
Oh,
And that's what we do as
it
artists.
sure did. It sure did for sure. Mara, you and I, obviously you're a subject matter expert in the world of art and what's going on in art. So what can from looking at the work that Tiago has created over the years, what do you see as a big upside to have that type of art here at VOYR?
I think it sets a precedent for the study that I've done with creators, artists, as well as NFT artists that are on the market right now. There's something really intrinsical about and very important about the work that Tiago does and his mentorship and his teaching, which we have not touched upon just yet. But it's the aspect of the series. Fine artists are well versed in the art of the series. And yes, you can create an NFT, throw it out into the world, make money with it, but it's the series that really matters. And that's what this type of artist, a classical trained artist that has a legacy already built into them, has a strong knowledge of that series. So it's and I'm speaking for the collector. Through the collector is where really the artist is financially free and is able to really share their work in perpetuity. So the collector really wants to see the value in understanding what a series is. And I think that Tiago sets that precedent in the way that he creates his work. He understands that. That's the way he mentors. And introducing that into the NFT space is really going to be important on how we develop this platform going forward.
Got it. So for those individuals such as myself, right, that may not understand what series is, right? If you were to explain it to me, what does that mean, Tiago? When you're talking about a series of, walk us through the struggle that you as a creator, as an artist, go through to mapping these, series.
Well, there are many paths to be able to become an artist, right? The one I chose, the one that I thought was the correct one, was through the academic world. I did my master's degree at the Maryland Institute College of Art. I did my bachelor's degree. I got a double bachelor's degree in communications and art. So that was my journey. I'm not saying that that's the only journey, but when we take that path, we're taught very early that what you create needs to have a linear connection, right? And you start thinking about shows, about expositions, about exhibitions, and in each exhibition, the idea is that you have a series of work that all connect one with the other, right? And that eventually is ingrained. And the way I see it, like the way Mara is explaining to me and explained it to me the other day, I totally see it, because there's a continuation of a body of work that is going to be maturing in the process that you're creating it. And when you bring that idea to this new technology, to this new, revolutionary process of creation, I think it empowers the piece. It empowers the collector to have pieces that are really maturing, also not just in the moment that it's created, but also in the timeline that the collector is going to have that piece, And the idea is that the value grows, right? And then eventually the collector wants to exchange it or resell it or whatever. It's not going to be sold or exchanged for the same price, let's say. but it's going to have grown. So the idea of a series is not a bystanding alone piece, but it's a work of like a project that is a continuum. You know, you have a continuation growing. Now, there's many other aspects to what Mara is bringing, not just what I'm saying. That's the way I'm seeing it initially. How we're going to keep on building this and defining this is a conversation that Mara, you, I, and everybody that comes on board will be defining. So, you know, I'm just throwing that out there because there's many possibilities to the idea of the series, which I love, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, Tiago, when you and I were having dinner a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about a couple of things. We were talking about perpetuity, right? We were talking about perpetuity. We were talking about immutability. You were sharing with me some early horror stories about what happens with galleries and whatnot. I know it's a loaded question, but let's start with that. Let's start with perpetuity. What is walk me through what you see when it comes to being an artist that has been in the, I'm going to call it the physical world, right? You're painting, you're using acrylics, you're using brushes, and then all of a sudden you want to reinvent the perpetuity. Exactly, I'm sorry, oils. That tells you right there.
Nothing against acrylic or watercolor. But the thing is, I always say this, acrylic, it was an invention, last century invention, and it was supposed to supplant, oil because of health issues or whatever. But at the end of the day, acrylic, watercolor is like your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Oil is the one you marry. It's the one that you have to, caress, and it takes time. You have to.
Listen, this is perfect because I don't know it. So to me, this is like, hey, I want to learn, and I'm learning constantly. So this is good.
Well, like you say, in the physical world, yeah, I bet any artist, okay. Horror stories, there's always going to be a middleman, or in the real world, or at least the way it's been going for centuries, right? And usually where there's money involved, there's going to be a hustler, and there's going to be the mafia type of thinking guy that is like, the least amount of work possible with the most money coming my way. So here I am, a creator, and I'm at a stage in my life that I want to have as much control over my work as I can. That's where, even in perpetuity, right? Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about these horror stories, here we are, a young guy. I actually was the youngest person to graduate at that point in time from my master's degree at the Maryland Institute College of Art, Hofberger School of Painting, under Grace Hardigan, who was an amazing artist, and Sam Gillian, another great artist, right? And these were my mentors. What they don't teach you is that it's a very corrupt world out there, and if there's money involved, the more price in your work, the more these leeches are going to be coming. So in the real world, you start dealing with these people that, at the end of the day, sometimes these horror stories mean that you don't collect a cent. Actually, at the end, sometimes you owe the person money just because they have four walls and put a painting up and sold it. Sometimes pieces disappear. I've had a 30-year-old career at this point. I'm not 50 yet, but I was very young, and obviously I've learned along the way with mucho cantazo, a lot of hits.
The streets. You basically there's a lot of stuff that they teach you in school, and there's no stuff that you learn in the streets.
In the street, that's right. So after so many years of so many things that have happened, there are works of art that people have gotten a lot of money that I've done that have been resold. I was telling you the other day, actually there's a law that there's a 10% markup price on art, but the artist is the one that has to follow through. What that means is, if a painting you painted sells for $10,000 and then it's resold for $20,000, there's a $1,000 10% markup that happened right there. But it's on me to go to that new buyer and say, hey, you owe me $1,000. I'm going to sue you. So, you're not going to be doing that the rest of your life. What you want to do is paint. What you want to do is create the work, not be a fiscalization party after every painting that you never made because you're fiscalizing, So at the end of the day, when we talk about this NFT project, and when we talk about having control of my own work through this platform, through what we're building, not only the resale is going to be controlled, and automatically you're going to gain the money that you deserve, or mainly you're going to have knowledge of where your work is at all time for perpetuity. I'm not here anymore. My children are not here anymore. My grandchildren, they will have control over what I did in this, in this moment, So I'm thinking it as a protective sense for my work, for my family, for my name. And at the end of the day, that's what I sell. I sell my name, I sell a brand. So I need to protect that brand as much as I can. And this is a way to really, really protect it.
Very well said. Very well said. And I agree with you, right? I agree that I agree, as you were explaining to me everything that happens, with the different middlemans that are in the art world, right? To me, it makes more sense to ensure that we are pioneering, what we're doing, particularly with VOYR Memories, which is going to be our NFT exchange coming up soon, as well as with VOYR as well. So Mara, let me ask you this. I know that you also do a lot of research, obviously, Mara, with other artists that are, everybody's talking NFTs, right? It's like the hottest trend that is going on, right? Walk me through some of the things or some of the challenges that you're seeing from different artists as well as that you have talked to.
Well, there are different types of creators. So every group of creators is going to have a different challenge. For example, you have the musicians, you have the visual artists, you have sculptors, but you also have the creators, the makeup artists, the activists. So really sort of finding their niche in terms of helping them understand what type of product, I don't want to say product, but what type of NFT, what type of memory they can create that really aligns with their brand and who they are. And I don't think it's a challenge. I think it's really interesting, and it's a really beautiful process to be able to talk artists through that. And that makes me extremely more passionate about this project than average. But my biggest challenge, we answered it at the beginning with the VOYR debit card. Creators depend on their platforms to make a living, and that's what we want to provide with this platform, because like we've said a million times before, you can go on YouTube, you can go on different channels. Monetization is very tricky. It controls your content, it's guided by an algorithm, it's so easy to be shadow banned. And then if you go to your average subscription service, large percentages are being taken out. The creator really isn't educated on how they're supposed to allocate their taxes. And it really hurts the creator. It does. So the biggest challenge to me is at the beginning was how to, as you're mentoring and as you're helping these folks find what their voice is going to be in this new platform, which is incredibly exciting, their first question is, how am I going to get paid? Because if I have a certain amount of subscribers and you're telling me that I'm going to be able to keep the majority of my proceeds, which is incredibly exciting to me, I don't know what hodling is. What is it? Do I have to do it? What percentage of it is important? So I think that you guys are doing an excellent job on this platform of building that education in and really being progressive and innovative and forward thinking into how to make the platform even not just for the spectator, but and the investor, but for the creator, which I think is the most important thing right now, to create a safe space for creators to recreate their legacies, but understand how and give them as much control as possible over their livelihood.
That very well said. Very well said. Now, I'll ask this question to both of you before I start looking at questions on the channel and whatnot. So, what is the call to action to maybe the young artists that are trying to actually diversify themselves, or somebody that is aspiring to be a creator in the field that you guys know? What's a good call to action as you're seeing this social exchange platform, as you're seeing the VOYR? What are some of the things that we should be coaching them? Tiago, we'll start with you.
Well, the way I see it, in art and in technology, as well as in life, I guess there are like slow and fast developments, right? The way I see it, when they're fast, I see it as a revolution. But when they're slow, I see it more as an evolution, right? I think we're here and we're choosing to participate here, actively participate in this process. And in that way, we want to have a say as creators. We want to have a say into what this is going to evolve into. Okay? So my role here as an artist, and I guess the role of every artist that comes here, should be to try to make it irresistible, okay, with their talent, to make this the future. I mean, I remember 20 some years ago, almost 30 years ago, somebody said, in the future, you're going to be able to make popcorn from your cell phone at home, and you're going to be able to turn on your lights and your alarm. And I was like, no, not happening. Here we are. Here we are, right? I think this technology is going to be evolving very fast into the future of art because it gives us the possibility to control our creations, to have an agreement directly with the other person. Okay. Also, I was thinking before starting this live, and I think I talked about this before when we met. But today, for example, there's people who are into the cryptocurrency world who understand a lot of the lingo and the language and the whole thing that's happening. But today, since I'm coming in, I know there's some people who have a lot of questions about NFT, about what this is all about. What does it mean? And I don't know everything about what it means. I have my vision of what it can become, and I will try to participate in the process of trying to make that happen with you guys along the way, hand in hand. So here today is very important that a lot of the things that maybe you, Enrique, might take for granted when you speak about it in this other world, right? That is explained thoroughly, like I'm a 3-year-old, because the way you've done it with me, it's been amazing. I've really gotten to understand a lot of the possibilities and opened up so many ideas, so many concepts that can be created through this. And I think that's what artists or creators, when they come, they should have that mentality of the possibility, of the dream, At the end of the day, we try to create this with content and with emotion, okay? And that's what art is for me. It's content and emotion, and I'm trying to bring this to this platform, and I urge other artists to consider the possibility of being here because this is real. You're building something that's real. This is a difference of VOYR opposed to many other. A lot of people, I've been in the press, people talking about pulling the rug and this, and you guys would have pulled the rug a long time ago if this was a scam,
That is true.
You estás dando la cara, you're there, you're talking, you're bringing somebody like Mara, who we love dearly, very respected. Here I am putting my face here and my name, like I said, my brand, because I'm trusting this, So what can we do? This is a leap of faith. Hey, when I sat down with those gallery owners 20 years ago, whatever, and it was a scam against me, I mean, they got the money, I didn't, and they had the control over the collectors. I didn't have contact with those collectors. I don't even know where that work is right now. But here, we can have control of who buys it, when they buy it, the way they buy it, and we have that conversation. Okay, so that's very important, and I think artists have to understand that. And le paso la palabra a Mara, but I took too long, so I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Mara.
The great thing is, I was about to ask you, how does this change? Walk me through how this changes the way you relate to your collector, and you just said it. I heard many times you speak that in the past with the horror stories, you didn't even know who these people were. Your work was disappearing, and there was always that middleman standing in between you and that bond. And there needs to be a bond between creator and patron.
Right.
You're giving them your babies, like something that came out of you. So talk me through how you see this in terms of creating a future where you're more bonded with your collectors.
Well, okay, I'll give you one horror story. This is a crazy one. I had done, during my master's degree, I had done a big triptych. Now, triptych, opposed to a series of 3, is one image that just is divided into 3 pieces, right? Now, the idea was that the two side pieces were the same image, and then there was a centerpiece that would disrupt this larger image, right? But they are as a whole one piece. Now this person sold, it was a very big painting. It was like maybe 30 feet by 10 feet. Okay.
Wow.
Now this painting was sold, and I got a minuscule. I don't know for how much. I mean, they told, oh, it's sold for this much. This is your cut. I don't know if it was sold for that or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first, like, not bonding thing. This is one of the first differences. I control the prices through this platform, you know? So, and it's a contract that we build together with that collector or that person who's interested. And, you know, VOYR will be that the possibility of creating that bond that you're talking about, Maya. So that collector at that point in time, you know what he did? He had this big office. He put the two pieces from the sides together in his office, and then the centerpiece, he put it in the lobby. Okay? So now we're talking about disrupting a painting. I mean, this is you know, palabra. There's a word like when you break a painting. There's a word I forgot. So
decomposing or
literally, it's like breaking the piece. You know.
Yeah.
So I tried to reach out to the guy, and the guy was like, "Whatever, not having it." Right? You know what I had to do? I had to rebuy the painting from the guy, so I could actually resell it and have it be together. And then I made a contract with a new buyer to keep it the way it's supposed to be kept. Okay? So, I mean, these are things that I don't have to go through. This is not, you know, I just want to be in my studio creating, and I want to be living. Another thing that I love is collaboration. I love to collaborate with younger artists, older artists. I want to be that linkage of creation happening. How can I do that if I'm following each piece that I've done that is being treated the right way? You know, it's crazy. This is a way that I can control that. You know, I would have total control over what happens here with NFT, you know? And the way it's going to happen is the way we decide it'll happen. The way it'll happen is the way I dream it could happen. So there's a very big difference between the horror stories and the possibilities in the dream stories that I'm hoping to create. And it is a leap of faith. I am trusting you guys. And I know you guys are trusting me, you know, and in that way we can build this together. You know, that's at least the way I see it.
No, absolutely. So before I start looking at questions and ask Dave if we have anything out there, I know that we are, let's see, it's 32 past the hour, so we've been on for 32 minutes. Tiago, let me ask you this. You have a paint, it looks like you're in your studio, you have a painting behind you. As I've spent time in your studio this week and looking at your art, one of the things that you and I were talking about is about, you know, what you paint is not really, you know, it's my vision of what I'm seeing is going to be completely different than someone else's, right?
Of course.
As I look at your work of art, I see these distortions. I see some of the stuff, and I'm looking at that in the background. So what can you tell us about that work of art that you have in the back?
Okay, so this side is, I don't want to sound like I'm giving a lecture, but here I go. So most people understand who Paul Cézanne was in France in the 1800s. Now, Paul Cézanne, for many, is considered the father of modern painting, okay, in the history of art, okay, for many reasons. From him springs off the colorists through Matisse, and then the cubists through Picasso and Braque, right? So Cézanne is kind of like this melting point right there. Very important artist in the history of the world. But he had a teacher, and his teacher was called Francisco VOYR. And Francisco VOYR is a Puerto Rican artist. Not only that, but he's from the best town in the world, Bayamón, Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
I was born here. So Francisco VOYR is this Puerto Rican artist from my same town that I honor because he was teacher to the painter who's considered in the history of art the father of modern painting. Okay? So this piece is my honor to Francisco VOYR. He was considered the pathfinder. Okay? There were all these artists, impressionists, Camille Pissarro, you know, all these guys, Cézanne, that really honored him in the 1800s. Okay? And they were all friends. And they called him the pathfinder. because he was the first Latin America to break in with those revolutionary artists who revolutionized the way you looked at a painting and the way they painted the painting through light. Okay? What happens? He's considered the pathfinder. I think this project, I really want to be kind of a pathfinder too. I want to define with you guys along the way how we as artists, as creators, can be revolutionizing this whole project, the future of this. Okay? So I symbolically put this painting back here where I'm paying a homage to Francisco VOYR. Now this painting is going to be going to the museum here, Francisco VOYR Museum in Bayamon. And before it goes, I wanted it to be here, so you guys also have an idea of what type of work I create in my paintings. So people who don't know me, they can go to my site, they can go to my Instagram. But at the end of the day, it's a symbolic way of telling you guys we're opening paths, we're finding new paths through this, and this symbolically means that. That's why I put him back there, Francisco VOYR, the pathfinder.
That is so well said. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just actually seeing the symbolism between what you explained and how this looks. So thank you so much for spending time on that. All right, let me make sure that we don't have any questions. So Dave, how are we looking out there, my friend?
We're doing good. A lot of great positive comments. I've put some of them on the screen as they've come in. No questions yet. Just a lot of positive praise and some great comments. Some people really saying they're excited to see a real artist on the platform. Not the fact that VOYR is not a middleman, that VOYR is an enabler to between the creator and the collector, and that's absolutely true. So yeah, and I think we've got about 30 people on the live streams across all platforms. So again, if there's any questions you guys want to ask of Tiago or the leadership team, feel free to fire them in. We'll grab those. But it's been a great conversation. I've really enjoyed it, and I love the symbolism of that painting.
I mean, Dave, you and I talk about. I mean, we've been in startups. You've opened startups. I've been in startups for many, many years, right? And the technology side, I'm pretty sure. Not pretty sure. I know we got it, right? We understand the technology side. We understand the cryptocurrency side. But then, as let me pick your brain, Dave. Are you as excited as I am when you're? It's almost like we're learning new things ourselves. That to me, it opens my eyes of how big the world is when it comes to this, what we're about to do with VOYR. What do you think?
Yeah, well, absolutely. My old saying, I got to learn something new every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my goal, and I learned some new things today already. So that said, I think we picked this market for a reason, and it's not like we came from the social media space, but we knew we could disrupt it. And you're right, the technology piece. I don't want to say it's easy, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not trivial, but we know how to do it. What it really is, though, is taking technology and giving it purpose, and then letting people like Tiago harness it, and then unlock the full opportunity with it. And that's what excites me. That's what gets me up every morning. Keeps me going. It's why I don't sleep. And I'm really passionate about that. So I'm absolutely excited. I cannot wait for the platform to launch here in July. I'm happy to have Tiago on it. We have a fine arts category on the platform for a reason. We have all the other arts there as well, but fine art is definitely something we're going to highlight, and Tiago will be right there front and center.
Thank you, David.
Absolutely. Well, I think we can continue to monitor questions. Obviously, since things have been positive, if there's no questions, there's no sense for us to continue to actually be here. So we'll just give it for about 2 or 3 minutes. But Dave, Dave? I know Brandon is off location and whatnot, but what's the latest with VOYR Memories, right? Where are we on the the critical path? We always talk about the critical path.
Sure.
We know that the audience know by now that that's going to be part of our platform, right? With VOYR Me. So how are we looking on that?
Yeah, we will go. We're in the back end development phase right now. Coming this Friday, our internal team will start getting access to the QA builds, and so we're still on track. We originally put out the date of July 5th. We decided to slip it to July 12th because, as people pointed out, July 4th is the day before, and July 5th is still technically the federal holiday in the States, and we want to make sure that our team gets a chance to celebrate the holiday and everybody has that weekend. So we just pushed it 1 week, but yeah, we're excited about it, and everything's looking good. I think the UI, I'm really excited about. The look and feel of it, I think, is clean. I think everybody, once they see it too, will have a good understanding of what the full VOYR platform will bring, and they'll understand that we're just we're cut above the rest, and I'm excited about that.
I have a question, David.
Yeah.
Assuming that not everybody who's online right now, or people who are going to be coming on later to watch the recording or whatever, that they haven't really heard what memories, like you guys explained in the past. Can you briefly explain what memories is?
Yeah, absolutely. So memories is our term for what we're calling NFTs. And if you think about it, when you're buying an NFT, you're buying something with provenance and legacy that's going to track with it, right? And people collect memories, and memories last forever. And so that's why we coined the term memories for the platform. It is going to end up being a full feature of the entire VOYR platform, but because we were in a position to be able to launch the NFT market space first, and we wanted to get users engaged on the platform using the utility token and really getting involved with VOYR, we decided to pull and launch that first. So if you're familiar with any other NFT marketplaces that are in the world today, some of the similar functionality will be there. We're going to support audio, video, digital media, fine art, obviously music, and we'll have that ability for the creator to come on the platform, set their own price. Again, creators own their content, they set the price, and then we pass through 100% of the profit. Fans who collect that will also then get the provenance of that NFT in their wallet. They have the ability to keep it on the platform or archive it off the platform, just like any other digital asset. The platform does give the ability for the creator to do one of a series, or they can do lazy minting, where Tiago come up and say, I've got this print, and anybody who wants to buy a copy should be able to buy a copy and then be able to print mint on demand. And then the creators, the nice thing about our platform is not only do we tie the provenance behind it and the legacy behind it to the creator who created it, there's also a royalty system built into it. So by design, that 10% that Tiago talked about that he would never be able to collect in the physical world is programmatically written into the smart digital contract, so that any creator who has a content asset that is resold, they may have sold for $1,000 a day and be worth $100,000 tomorrow. That $10,000 royalty payment is coming on that resale back to the creator. So we're excited about it. It'll be available. Anybody who can be a creator, anybody can be a fan. I know that Enrique is going to carve some music.
And obviously we're talking with other artists and creators. There's a specific musical artist that I'm not going to name yet because we have to go into conversations. But that's it. The idea of actually how do you get, whether it's his collaboration or her collaboration and my collaboration, hey, we can create something that can be put in the market, right? And that the royalties are tied 100% to that creator. So I'm looking forward to it myself. Now, there is a very good question on the screen at Tiago. I don't know if you saw it, so I'll repeat it real quick. It's at Tiago. It's so beautiful to see your passion and depth and your embrace of the technology world. Tiago, how have other artists responded to you with this new venture? My wife still rolls her eyes at me regarding crypto. I think that's what everybody, to be honest. Go ahead.
Well, listen. First of all, Hoops, thank you. Thank you. First of all. Second of all, with curiosity, a lot of curiosity. Other artists have. I sent messages to certain artists that I think should be here today. Hopefully, they got connected. If not, we'll send a link later, because they are very curious. They're very good artists, but they really don't understand yet what this is all about, right? Also, there's fear, because yes, there have been scammers in the past. There's still scamming out there. So it's very important that for people, artists that are close to me, that they understand that I'm here, because these guys right here, everybody, there's transparency. And I did my research. Okay, and they have been amazing, and they've explained everything perfectly to me. I'm still learning, but it's going to be a lifelong learning process. You know, like David said, every day learn something new. So how have they responded? Very curious, with a little bit of fear. Some of them have asked me, actually with concern. You got to be careful. You know, they might be using your face, your name. You got to, protect yourself. You know what? Like I said, this is a leap of faith, and we're trusting each other. So in that sense, I'm just hoping that they jump on here and they hear these conversations that happen weekly, Wednesdays and Sundays. Sundays at 10 a.m. and Wednesdays at 7,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
That's right.
those 2 days, any doubts, any fear, any whatever question that you might have, come on and listen to these guys and Mara. And you know what? You're gonna start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I say to my friend artists. But yeah, there's a lot of curiosity. There's a lot of excitement. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Absolutely. And thank you. I'll share the recording for your response with my wife. I think that, that's what it's going to take, honestly, to be honest. If actually people get up, I do know of a lot of people that think exactly the same way about crypto being afraid and whatnot, but it's about trusting in each other, explaining things in such a way. I don't have to explain things in such a way that I need to show my audience that I know what I'm talking about. I want to
Right.
explain it in such a way that it's at plain level field so that you can understand the vision that will get us there and what's real today and what's the vision, right? So great answer, Tiago. So we have another question from I'm a Pound Cake. When creators collaborate, how will both get paid for their content? Dave, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So that's a great question. Part of it will come down to the agreement between the creators, right? They obviously are going to set the price and they're going to set the collaboration on it. The way the smart contract works, there is a contract owner of the NFT, and that creator would be, essentially the collection owner. So if we had joint collaborators, they could actually build a collective collection that's owned by essentially a multi-sig wallet, and they could have the ability to have that royalty come in and share. But that would be a little bit of business logic along with decisions between the collaborators, but definitely possible on the platform.
Go ahead, Mara. You have a question?
What I love about this question is that's Miss Danny. I'm a Pound Cake, she's also a creator who we hope to see in the future here with us. And she is a lifestyle blogger, size activist. So she has the side of her that's activism, and the other side that's fashion and lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So she and Tiago are completely different creators, and we're bringing so many people to this platform that question really excites me, because when we talk about different types of creators, we're trying to figure out what are my memories going to be? How am I going to fit into this space? So having the opportunity for visual artists to collaborate with different types of creators is just really amazing and a true benefit to this platform. So shout out to Danny. I'm a Pound Cake. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for the question, and we'd love to have you on the platform as well.
Absolutely. I do see a response from Jimbo, and if you want to put it on the screen, let's see. Awesome, really excited for this project. Even more so now I have heard how passionate Tiago is. His horror stories show a major strength that VOYR has in taking out the middleman. And it really boils down to it. If you really think about it, sometimes the middlemen have a lot of control. Just in today, even on social platforms that we're seeing today, you have creators promoting advertising of stuff that they're not aligned with, right? Or you see, not a lot of marketing efforts that are done as part of being a creator in some of these social platforms. The creator is typically responsible for that. Our goal is to make sure that we can break those barriers so we can, one, connect the creators and fans as close as possible, but two, from a royalties perspective, that are as close as 100% as possible as can be.
That's right. Yeah. No, I mean, disruption of the broker exchange market is good for our business, and it's been a stronghold on a lot of people for a long time, and there's no reason it has to be that way. And so, that's why we're doing what we're doing.
Absolutely. Let's see. We're about 10 minutes, close to 10 minutes to the pass of the hour. Let's check if there's any more questions. I don't think that they are, but if they're not, Tiago,
Yeah.
any closing statements, my friend?
Well, there's one thing that I think painters will be interested, or people who create apart from digital media, who create like a physical work. And we briefly touched upon it the other day that we had a conversation. So I'll throw this to David about the fact that there's this codification. And these are parts that I'm trying to understand more and more. And the more I understand what I'm being explained, the more I like it. So, so I think this is something very important for any creator out there who's either a painter, a sculptor, or who does physical or, graphic, that has a physical work, that there's a codification or code through the NFT project process, right? That goes attached or adhere directly to the piece. So not only is it the digital art that's being sold through NFTs, but also a physical painting. Like I can attach a codification for this piece, and I will know. This is what I'm understanding, right? And I will know, when the piece is resold, or where it is at, or what's happening with it, And I think that's something really important for us, right? And I think that could be one of the main topics that we can touch upon in the future when we talk about, AMA art side. Because when other artists understand how this works, I think that's gonna really help to bring a lot more over. So David, if you want to touch a little bit on that, and how does that work?
Sure. Yeah. So essentially what you do is you take your physical asset and you put a digital trackable on it, whether it be an NFT chip or a QR code or even a barcode. But essentially you're going to take that asset and you're going to journalize it on the blockchain. So all transactions of how that physical asset is sold are done through the digital platform. So if you wanted to think about it, if you had a physical painting and you would have taken it to Christie's yesterday and had an auction, you would take it to the NFT market space and then sell it there. The new owner gets the digital representation and the provenance of it recorded on the blockchain that they are now the new owner, and then the physical asset gets transferred to them. But all resale or sale of that would happen through the blockchain, and that would be contractual, obviously, along with the smart contract piece of it that goes along with it. But there are definitely models where this is now taking place in a lot of different areas beyond just fine art. Property is now being ledgered on the digital blockchain and sold this way. Commodities, gold and silver, you physically get your gold and silver, but you buy and sell it through the blockchain. So this model is well proven out. I even saw one yesterday where Barrett Jackson's now launching a blockchain to be able to sell cars, where you will buy the car through the digital blockchain, and then they will ship you the car once you own you're the new owner of it, right? So that asset piece of it's still there. Enrique.
So funny you said that, because the other day I met the president of a car dealership that was interested in crypto. So, I guess I'm going to have to follow through that.
Well, if you think about it, once it becomes an asset on the blockchain, it's asset to asset transfer, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of
thank you, David.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's well said. Mara, some parting words. Actually, I do see a question. So if we could put a Hops question in, I would love to understand the impact for collectors of having a genuine copy of art and what this would mean to them.
Well, I think art in the beholder of the collector is always going to have special meaning to that person. The fact that they are able to buy it in a different way is what we're changing, but it doesn't change the personal or impact that you would have from having that physical piece of art. If anything, you get provenance behind it. You have something you can prove you own the legitimate copy, right? You didn't get a lithograph that somebody just went and made a copy of. You get the one that the creator itself said, this is it. This is the one of one, right? And that guarantee is something you can't get in the physical world right now. When you put those two and two together, you have that goes along.
Got it.
You get bragging rights.
Yeah, you get bragging rights. That's exactly right. I mean, who doesn't want to be first? That's something that you're passionate about, right? There's things that I'm passionate about that I wanna be first on and want to be able to say, yeah, I own this thing, right?
That's right.
Yeah, and I think even you could even unlock additional things, right? I mean, the creator could say, when you buy this, I have something special for you and only you, but you have to own it to be able to get that last little piece unlocked, right?
Right.
I mean, maybe there's a painting, that he time lapsed on how he made it. Tiago will share that video with you so you can see how it was created, right?
Hey.
It sounds like does that sound like a future thing? I don't know. I'm just gonna stay quiet right now.
No, I'm just saying, but things like that.
You never know. That's right. You never know.
I have pieces in my collection that are studio pieces.
That's right.
Trial runs from artists. I have street art from artists before they were discovered. I have copies of something that was done for someone that the artist actually did for a large project and gave, I bought a different version of it for myself. So there's so many different ways to go at this and to go about it. But I think at the end of the day, what we need to keep present for the creator benefit. This is an opportunity for the creator to have control over what that interaction is going to be. And you asked me for some parting words, and this is what I'd like to stay clear here. This is an opportunity for collector and creator to connect and create in perpetuity together. It's an opportunity for the creator on the platform to have control over their careers and their lives and not to be policed. Like I think it was Brandon said before, activist creators to create without fear of the corporate overlords taking down their content. It's a safe place for folks to create, to express themselves, and find the people that are interested in supporting them and creating a legacy together. So when you guys, and a place for different creators to collaborate with one another. So when you think about VOYR.me, think about that. Think about what it's bringing for the creator, the ease and the freedom of this process and the access that the collector and the fan or the viewer is going to have to their favorite creator. That's in the core, the heart and soul, what we're doing here, creating a social exchange where folks are free to communicate with one another in the language that they want to communicate with, and it's a safe exchange between them.
So as you can see on the screen, obviously we're accepting applications for creators, right? The link is there, is voyr.me/creator. So feel free to actually peruse that site, be able to actually sign up. I mean, I was talking with someone today about digital photography, right? And digital photography is art, right? It's not about, and it's art is everywhere, right? It's me doing a 4-count beat of a song. It could be anything, right? But the idea is, if that drives me to share it with others and I want others to see the value in that, others are going to want to be able to gravitate towards that for sure. So
well said.
All right. It is 2 minutes before the top of the hour. As you can see, you can find us at voyr.me. Every AMA that we do, team, is Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 2300 UTC, as well as Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, 1400 hours UTC. These are weekly AMA sessions. We are radically transparent. We're going to share information, the good, the bad, as well as ask questions from you, the audience, of whatever you believe on our project. And obviously you can follow us on every social media product that you see out there, whether it's Telegram, Discord, Twitter, Instagram. We're in those channels as well. So Dave, I'll leave you to actually close us out, my friend.
Well, I'll just leave it with a thank you to Tiago for joining us. It was an absolute wonderful session today. And, I think even people are chiming in still. Thanks, Tiago. And, you got a lot of new fans, it sounds like, from around the world. And so, again, everybody, please come join us. Get on the platform. Follow Tiago. He's got a great Instagram account with amazing art on it. And if you get a chance, come join us on NFT Memories and come buy some of his art. So thanks, everybody, who's tuning in. We'll catch you on Wednesday.
All right. On behalf of the entire team at VOYR here, have a great Father's Day if you're celebrating around the world. If not, we'll see you on Wednesday on the next AMA. Have a great day. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.